Let's begin firstly from this belief that cadres were the main reason as to why councils were not able to collect revenue from markets, bus stations, and this is why we're not seeing them even being able to conduct themselves appropriately during that time anyway. But the Local Government Service Commission now believes that there could be an increase that needs to be done in terms of revenue collection. But with the recent development here, this has not been done. There's no increase. What's your comment on this?
Thank you very much. I want to state that cadres in the market had a lot of negative impact on a number of aspects. It's not only on revenue correction. Even the environment to conduct business was affected, harassment and massive theft. Generally, the environment was chaotic because of the behavior that were being exhibited in public places, which was uncalled for. So cadresm then in PF had a lot of consequences. So the removal of cadres has brought a lot of gains. But of course, to the side of revenue correction, the people who announced and who told the nation that they are not able to meet the target in terms of monies to collected in the markets is because of negative impact of cadresm. It's the council themselves. The same council that we have today, those are the people who are using the same excuse then. And they said, no, we are not able to meet this because of challenges that we are facing. Cadres are collecting money, cadres are doing this. This report was coming from the council. And when the new Dawn government came in, cadres were flushed out. The environment, the gains were many. The environment is conducive to do business. Marketeers are able to maximize their profit, and they've confirmed that you from the media, you can attest to what I'm saying, that people are able to do their business and making money compared to the way it was when cadres were like a legal staff to do in the markets and public places. But we also saw announcements coming from the council themselves, announcing that the removal of cadres has made them to start collecting revenues, and revenue collection has increased. For example, we saw an interview from a council official at Intercity, Limata. It is in public domain. It was in public domain where they were announcing that now they've doubled the collection of revenues in the markets. But technically, if you get to the council itself, direct to the offices, you find that the report of increment in terms of revenue collection is not there. So probably what I would say as a provincial youth chairman is that auditors should move in, because this thing is in council system itself. Maybe director of finance should explain to us. Director of finance from the council should give us a statement or a report on what is happening, because the people, the cashiers are coming from the council. The market masters are coming from the council. And everyone in charge of collecting monies and revenues are coming from the council. So how then the council can complain that we are not collecting enough money? They should give us reasons.
Do you think that this could create an environment where some council workers now just might even become the new cadres on the block?
Of course, we've complained before. I've complained before that we have a lot of cadres in the council, and because of our tolerance and humane approach towards issues, 95–98% of council employees were employed by PF. And you know how PF how they were employing staff. It was through cadresm. So of course, this confirms to all of us that we still have cadres systematically in the system of council operation. And those people, they don't mean well. And probably they are trying to sabotage the progress that the new Dawn government is making deliberately. And we are not going to allow them. We are not going to let them do that, because as from the word go, from the beginning, from the preamble, when our president was sworn in, we are very serious people in power. And I'm sure Zambian people are able to see the progress that we are making. We started by making sure that the environment trading places are free from stealing, free from violence, free from cadresm, and that happened. And you can go on the street to ask marketeers. They are happy. They are very thankful to the government, and even political battles are not happening in the markets, because then the markets and bus stations were like political zones where rival political parties could not face each other, or maybe you put on regalia coming from opposition side, like the way it was, you are like signing a death what sentence. So this also has been stopped. So meaning that the government is doing its best, even in terms of revenue collection. We are disappointed because we've created the environment which is conducive for people to collect maximum collection in terms of monies, and we don't expect council to complain because we've answered to their cries, we've answered to their requests, we've answered to things that they were complaining about, that this is the causes of us not collecting enough money in the markets. All that has been answered to them, and now they are still grappling to give us positive gains in terms of revenue collection. So this is an eye-opener for us to now conclude that council workers, probably they are not helping the government. They are not going in the direction the New Dawn government is going. It's like they are going opposite. They are trying to sabotage the efforts.
What do you think needs to be done in this case? Because we even heard from the local government service commission.
Of course, is to clean the system.
Yeah,
we're going to clean the system.
They'll reshuffle, and they're not going to dismiss anyone. What would this do
course,
then if these individuals are still let to go ahead and hold different positions?
Experts are there, and these problems are in public domain. As you have asked me, this is a public question, and it's in everyone's mind. People are wondering, nanga abantu bagamba ndrama kulibe. Nanga abantu they are saying no, they are not meeting this target. What is the problem? Because they'll be given all what is needed for them to maximize the collection of revenues. So the only thing which is there now is that they sabotage somewhere in the system. So Director of Finance from the council must answer to the public, must explain to the public where the problem is coming from. And of course, auditors must move in so that they know how these people are not collecting money. Probably if you go on the ground, you go in the markets direct to ask market masters, they will tell you that the revenue collection has increased. I've interacted with market masters from all these public places. They've confirmed that the increment in terms of revenue has been done because there is sanity now in the markets. People are able to comply, and all the monies are being collected by council cashiers, and it's going direct to the council coffers. So that report is there. But when you get an overall report from the council itself, they will tell you, no, the revenue collection is still the same. What is the reason? Where is the problem? So auditors must move in. Director of Finance must give an official statement. And probably the solution is to clean up the system. We need to put genuine people with heart for the Zambian people, with heart for people who needs that money which the council are collecting, not pocketing that money, abusing the work that they are doing. Yes.
Would you say that then the problem wasn't the cadres at that time, despite this report that is coming? Could have possibly been the council themselves?
Of course, because in my preamble...
Before you respond to that, let me just take in this call. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, morning.
Hi, go ahead with your question or your contribution.
Okay. Initially, I think it's the system which has been inherited from the old ways of doing things. I still strongly feel that the invoice book can be duplicated. I know of a certain country whereby the people the police officers used to make their own fine invoices, whereby they would make people pay on the road, but this money was not remitted to the police station. So I think it's a similar situation which has come into the system, whereby those guys, they can have their own receipt book, which are duplicate to the ones the council supplies. You know, with this electronic system, anybody can make some of those things, even if it involves that watermark. Okay, all those things can be done with a lot of computers, sophisticated computers around. So that has to be removed. This is of using a receipt book and collecting money to go. There's another system whereby somebody just pays using mobile money straight into the account for the council. Right? When he has a message reflection and other small machines like this, where they can give you a receipt. Okay? Now those girls who are going around collecting the money, they give you a receipt after they have made the payment. The money goes straight into the council. Okay? But otherwise, this thing will never see. People always make it after the match, their own invoices. That's why sometimes you find that those girls who collect money, some of them, as they go home, they are driving. Where do they get that money to buy their small farm? it is. I believe that maybe it's not correct.
Well, Mr. Tembo, we'll have to just wrap it up from there. We need to accommodate more callers, but thank you for coming through and thank you for that contribution.
All right, thank you.
So just getting back to my question, obviously this could not have started recently. It's something that has been happening even in the past. So do you think then that the problem was not the cadres, but instead some individuals from the council?
Of course, the problem is cadres. Publicly, in terms of cadres who were found physically in the station, have been removed because we have taken charge by supporting and supplementing the policy direction of our new Dawn government that we need to have a free space for marketeers and bus station operators and people who are generally do have business in the public places. And we've spoken to our youths. They've listened. No one is going there. But now this confirms that we still have cadres who are working as council workers, who are trying to behave the way they were behaving. And because the report of saying the council are not getting enough money revenues because of cadreism, it came from the council themselves. They are the people who are complaining, no, we are not able to maximize revenue collection because there's too much interference coming from the cadres, political party cadres. So we said, us, as new government, we are listening people. We are going to remove cadres completely so that you work freely and bring in your own cashiers. Operate the way you've been operating. Take charge, be in control of every collection, be it shops, be it bus, be it whatever, any revenue that they collect. Be in charge. And they've been doing that very free.
So in this case, you're saying
and now,
cadres are still in existence?
In the council system, yes. If that is not the case, then we have criminals. We have thieves who are stealing from the public, and they must be investigated and be fired because stealing public money is an offense. So in the council system, we have corrupt individuals working, and they are trying to sabotage the government efforts, maximize revenue collection in the public places, such as markets and bus stations. And those revenues, they're supposed to go to essential areas, like water recreation programs, sanity in the markets, and of course, infrastructure. Toilets and bathing rooms, and of course salaries. So if some people are pocketing the monies they are getting from people in the markets, it means those people are criminals and they must be arrested. And now, as a politician, as a person who is directly connected to people who are in power, because I belong to the ruling party, I get so worried that we can have people who are sabotaging the development of our country and our markets. So I demand that this finance director at the council and whoever can give an official report to explain on what is happening. They told us cadres were hindering the progress of revenue collection, cadres were removed, and they announced to us that now they've increased the revenue collection, it has doubled in public places such as Intercity, Lima Tower, and many others. And today we are getting a report that revenue collection has not increased. All these reports are coming from the council. So we want to compel probably a public relation officer from that institution to tell us, to explain on where the problem is coming from. What is the problem? What is the cause? So that we work on it. So that the public can know where the problem is coming from. Because we will not tolerate people stealing public money. We will not tolerate people stealing taxpayers' money. Because that is public money which is supposed to be monitored by us, the taxpayers.